If you were to start this, how would you start this interview?
That my life changed in June 2014. I lost a best friend. I lost a couple of best friends, actually. Generations of life.
Explain, elaborate.
My dad, he committed a double homicide by killing my grandmother, which is his mother, and my uncle, which is his brother-in-law, his sister's husband. And at the time, I was at work, and I got a phone call. They were actually vacationing in Haiti, so at the time, I got a phone call. I was at work, and it was like, "Oh, did you hear what your dad did? Did you?" I'm like, "What?" I'm like, "What's going on?" "Oh, he killed everybody in the house." I'm like, "What y'all talking about?" And then they're like, "Yeah, he shot grandma, uncle, and then he killed himself." And I always told myself, I'm like, being a daddy's girl, I always told myself, what would I do if I lose my dad? And my time came where I lost my dad. My best friend didn't speak to me about what was going on.
What did you do to cope?
Well, I've always been an active person thanks to him. I've always been very active, and I just had to, like, I took about a month off of work because for coping reasons. I took about a month off of work, and I was just in a slump and a funk where I never been before, like never just that low, that deep. So, and of course, I just had to take that time off. And what kept me going was he always told me to be strong. If anything happens, to be strong. When I came home and I saw my mother crying, that was the first time I seen my mom crying. I'm like, okay, so me and her crying, who's gonna be the strong one? It's not gonna work. My brother calling me crying, everybody's crying. I'm like, no. Somebody has to be strong. So that's why I took in the role of being strong and coping and realizing that crying is gonna get it off your chest, but life is gonna have to continue. What are you gonna do from here? You're gonna stay in this funk, which is gonna just put your life to shits for the rest of your life? Or are you gonna do what they told you? Or, which is what he told me, to be strong. Be the man of the house. He always told me that. After my month off, definitely, I just kicked myself. I'm like, you can't stay down in this funk forever. You can't do it. So before the services, they flew my grandmother and my uncle in, and I was told to just, by my family, that I was just supposed to just leave my dad out there. Like, oh, just tell him the embassy, forget about him. I'm like, no, I can't do that. That's still my dad no matter what, and that's still your brother, but I'm not gonna focus on that part. I sent my aunt money out there in Haiti to do his services because I couldn't attend. So they did the services and everything, and now it's time for the services for my grandmother and my uncle. And I just took a drastic change. I felt like I needed a change, and I just went out and I cut my hair. I had hair about up to here, but I just decided like I needed a change. Something had to go in order for me to get out of that funk. So before the services, I went and I just did a big chop, and that was like the best thing I ever did. And that was definitely a major step in my coping skills as far as for coping with this entire situation. And as the hair was just coming off, I just felt it, like all the stress, everything that I was going through, and I felt as if I was just ready for the world after that.
Why do you think cutting your hair was such a big deal?
It was a major change. It was another major change in my life. Like, as far as the situation happened, and then I needed something to counteract that feeling. And I needed a positive, not a negative. And that was the best decision I made in my life. After that, it gave me, like, I continued to work out. Which is something that my dad always installed in us, to be active, to be strong, to be active in that. So I continued doing that. And being that my hair was short now, I was able to get into the gym even more, or working out even more, because my hair was short. I didn't have nothing to worry about. Compared if your hair is long, you gotta, there's the whole thing to it. So having shorter hair, it just pushed me to excel and just keep working out and just keep my mind in a clear state, because I feel as if your mental health is just as important as your physical health. So it just brought out a whole nother life, a whole nother passion, and just remembering these childhood memories and just not letting anything go to vain that he did and that he said. Like, everybody looked at it, oh, it's a negative, but there's things that happen in life where, as bad as it may seem, it may be something that just went out and helped you. I mean, he's not here to see everything that I'm doing, but it's really all for him. I feel as if, it's crazy because I feel as if I'm more open now. I'm more of a people person. I'm more loving and caring to everybody that's around me and people that I don't even know because of the situation. It made me a better person. I didn't become bitter. Family turning backs on me. It's okay. I can sit here and talk about it today. So I haven't spoken about this, but this is my first time coming out and speaking about it. But I told myself, I'm ready. Well, I think I'm ready. I felt as if I'm ready for me to just get this all off of my chest.
What do you want people to take from this?
I just want people, don't listen to your demons, because they will tell you to do the wrong thing. They will make you bitter. They'll want you to go out there and be angry at the world and be malicious and stuff, and it's like, it's not worth it. It's definitely not worth it.
Why isn't it worth it?
Because guess what? That person, unfortunately, they took their life, and it's definitely very sad and very devastating, but you're here, so you have to still make your time here. You got to still make it worthy. Like they really say, there's life after death. There really is life after death. Because, like I always said, what would I do if I lose my dad? And now I lost my dad, and I never thought that I'd be able to go through life without my dad. You know, literally, we're still like this. I can still say that. And don't listen to what anybody says, because they'll break you down and tell you all types of stuff, that your parents didn't love you because they wouldn't have did this, but it's not the truth.
So why are you crying right now?
Because I know he still loves me.